Download the AllStar app. Make your picks for UFC fights, challenge your friends, level up and win prizes. Link in description. Get it now.
So is Sean O'Malley really that popular? Is Sean O'Malley really a star to where like
I think the UFC wants him to be, whether the numbers come in for him or not.
That's weird, right?
Dana
think,
desperately wants him to be for some reason.
I think he's one of those guys where like he's got his set fans and then the rest don't care. Like no one hates him enough to want to watch. And you know, he's not that, you know, some people like Conor McGregor are like, I just want to see him lose. Like I'm like, yeah, I like Sean O'Malley, but I don't love him and I don't hate him. So I'm like, yeah, I'll watch it, but I also don't feel like I need to be there to watch it. Although it was a beautiful
it was a beautiful
he's
cross.
got some great striking. Like I rate him.
It is entertaining to watch. For me personally, I don't really like either fighter for different reasons. I feel like with Aljo, I kind of got a sour taste in my mouth after that whole Piotr Jan thing and that wonderful acting performance of his. And then him just like claiming the championship belt and you know, calling himself the champion when like clearly he wasn't winning that fight. So I kind of had my reservations toward him. And then with Sean O'Malley, just all that hype, you know, that also leaves a sour taste in my mouth because I don't really care for shit like that, right? It's like you just have to deserve that. I mean, his striking is good, but there was just so much hype behind him. And then what was it? It was the Chito Vera fight.
How he didn't lose?
Technically he's an undefeated fighter, but it's like, no, you lost. Like, just admit it.
Yeah,
just be a humble person, right?
If I
ignore
my losses, I'm undefeated too.
Yeah, so it's like,
me too.
It's like I dislike both of them, so it's like I don't want to put. I want to see both of them lose. So I don't want to put any of my money in that.
I felt like Aljo with the fights after.
It's true. Yeah.
He kind of, or not kind of. I felt like he proved himself.
Yeah, for sure.
I've also rolled with him and stuff.
Yeah.
So like he's a nice guy.
Yeah.
And
Max says he bashes him.
He backpacked me.
No,
you guys gotta take your like relationships out of it.
Yeah.
Right?
No.
Like your relationships out of it.
But just seeing like he works hard. Like and stuff like that.
Oh, respect to Aljo, man. He's accomplished a lot more than people thought.
Yeah, I think both of them worked hard.
Yeah.
But no, like I felt like his like performances after that fight kind of like made it better.
Yeah.
Whereas like I felt like with O'Malley, he didn't beat Piotr Jan.
No, he definitely did not.
And then I like what?
Yeah.
Is that the
what
thing
was the scoring
with like a lot of fighters? Is that Sean O'Malley never beat Piotr Jan?
I think it was maybe that and the whole not losing.
Yeah.
I think he still has like he made like merch out of it.
Yeah.
Like, and he's like,
and yet this is the guy with the belt at the moment.
Isn't that crazy, right?
He's good, man. That's what I'm saying. Like, he's the type of guy that said what he said. He's not even very good at trash. He's another guy not good at trash talking.
Yeah.
Not even really good at talking, to be honest with you.
Yeah, he's good at dressing up.
But he's good at like making a persona.
Mm-hmm.
Like not with his mouth, but with his physical being. And being a hell of a fighter too.
Wait, also doesn't he let other people sleep with his missus?
No.
No, I think that's
I was like,
it's the vice versa.
Okay.
It's the vice versa.
Weird.
Yeah, well, you know, there's a lot of weird things that go around on the internet, you know, like sometimes you can believe it and most times you shouldn't believe it at all. But yeah, like he has some kind of weird situation. We're not talking about that. We could get into that.
Sorry.
We could get into Ian Gary and all of that because it's all like kind of similar to it. But we were talking about O'Malley. Somebody in the comments was saying O'Malley's fans are stoners who blow their money on weed. Meanwhile,
I kind of agree with them though. I mean, O'Malley's fans are very much.
Are O'Malley fans like, dude, like fuck it, like?
I think so. I'm pretty sure they're all like that.
You got some great impressions.
I actually think that basically O'Malley's fans are all like a lot of stoners that probably don't do a whole lot of like they're not martial artists and things like
They're
that.
the ones
They're
that
just
are,
happy someone's out there repping them.
Oh, man,
exactly.
I bet you I could do that.
they're the ones that are probably like the ones that are arguing with their moms about like their PlayStation. Like,
Yeah,
erase my,
they're sitting in the
erase my
basement.
memory, mom.
Shut
Yeah.
up, Mom. O'Malley's on. I'm
Yeah.
watching TV.
So basically, losers.
Getting my inspiration.
It's like, Mom, like 28 years old. Mom, for Christmas, I want
A Sean O'Malley
Yeah.
wig.
It's
literally
Mom,
it's literally just a
But-
clown wig.
Shadowboxing is a mirror.
But the thing is, I think that with O'Malley, right? Like, I was never like a real believer, but man, he's proven himself. He's the champion. Like, he fought the real champion. Like, it wasn't like some guy that they just put it was like a fluke title win, and then like they brought in O'Malley and he won the title. It was like he beat the guy that beat a bunch of other dudes. Right?
It was decisive, but yet weirdly enough, I didn't feel like he proved himself before that.
Yeah, that's the thing, is he didn't prove himself before.
Yeah, but
right?
he proved himself in that title fight,
Sure.
and that's all you need to do.
But are we going to see a rematch of that? Because that, that was like a
no.
one shot.
Cheeto is gonna.
Yeah.
Cheeto Guerrero's fighting him.
Jesus.
And I
But,
think
like,
that just explains why there were probably less pay-per-views, right? Because people weren't as excited because of how Sean O'Malley got to that position of, the title fight, right?
yeah, well, you need
I
the
don't know.
haters though. You need people to hate you as much as they love you, right? Actually, you need more people to hate you than they love you.
I
right?
do also wonder from the other side. So maybe people were feeling like that with O'Malley, and then I know a lot of people were really torn on the Cejudo Aljo outcome because it was close.
Yeah.
So I'm sure because it was like they were torn on that, they were torn on this. They're sort of like,
They're like, you know what?
I'll watch the replay.
Or I'll just stream it.
Yeah. So like, going back to the original,
I've never done such a
like he was like being built up as this like rising star. Like he has this following and he's this character, and then he's gonna be a pay-per-view star, and then but Aljo saying like that's not the case. Like their pay-per-views were bad, and he's not that big of a star. But maybe he's just hating. Maybe he's just hating because nowadays you could put up anything. Like, dude, like let me like know a UFC. Well, I do know a UFC fighter, but I'm saying let me like get behind a UFC fighter, like, and like guide them with like what to say and what to do.
Be in their ear.
Yeah, be in their ear, like literally. Like I would love to do that.
I
Like,
want
maybe
him
I'll
just to
start a
sit
business.
behind them.
Sorry, but with his fight, their fight, because it was like one of those just like one shot, he got knocked out. Why was there not a rematch of that? Because I feel like I see so many people get immediate rematches.
Because Aljo, number one, he's not considered like a legend of the division. Number two, he's not liked by company in many different ways.
It seems like it.
It seems like it. And so like you have to have things going for you for them to give you a rematch. They didn't even give Jose Aldo a rematch.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Jose Aldo.
Crazy.
Jose Aldo was a champion for like 19 years. Beat up like 500 people in a row. Like, how do you not give a rematch to a guy like
I
that?
think what it is that it's less about them and almost more about like the hype person and that
the
hype
machine.
person.
It's a business, right?
It's a machine.
Yeah.
The person that they like, right?
Mm.
In that instance, it was McGregor. In this instance, it was, and weirdly enough, both one punch.
But why do you think
Oh,
Dana
wow.
loves O'Malley
Same.
so much? Why do you think he wants it to?
Because number one, you need American champions. You need American champions.
That's
You know,
racist.
Why is that racist? America's not even a race.
it's
It's
nationalist. Get
Yes,
it right.
nationalist. I was going to say segregation, but that's
Yeah.
different.
Yeah. America's the land of not no
Wild shit.
Yeah. This is the wild, wild west. But anyways, so like with Aljo, like now he's talking about he's gonna go up to featherweight and he's gonna they're saying that he's gonna fight Calvin Kattar, right? Which I don't know, man. If Aljo can't get Calvin Kattar down, like he's gonna have big problems on the feet because Calvin Kattar is massive for featherweight.
Also, I feel like what's with all these
And
guys
deadly.
like wanting to go up and down in weight? It's like Aljo hasn't even like claimed his territory,
Yeah.
if you will. Maybe give him a couple more fights and then go up to featherweight, right? Don't.
I feel like don't do it unless you're like a super dominant champion.
Yeah,
Well, the
yeah,
thing
that
is,
too.
they're trying to take advantage of their like recently they lost the title, right?
Okay.
So they're using that name or that accolade, right, to get a matchup high in the division at featherweight.
I think also
Because if you go and fight a couple more times, you could win, but you could also lose. And if you lose, then those fights disappear, right?
although
right.
losing the belt also and going up also solves the issue of him and Merab in the bantamweight division. Like
Well,
they're
that
very
was the
close.
biggest. That was, to me, it was a dumb move of them not to play that up, rather than just be like, no, we're not fighting each other. We're brothers. And I understand that. I understand that side. And I also understand the other side of like, you guys should fight each other because it's for a lot of money and you get to keep the belt.
Mhm.
One of you wins, gets to keep the belt. And then maybe you can fight each other again. And then one of you keeps the belt. So you guys all win.
Yeah.
If you look at it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like to me, like they fumbled so bad to me. Like they could have been fighting each other. And one of them would have the belt right now. You know what I mean? Like I understand the brotherhood and all that stuff, but man, UFC really hated that. In the past as well, when that stuff happened, the UFC remembers that stuff.
Like DC and Cain Velasquez?
No, they did, because they were never like pitted against each other.
That's
right.
true.
So he avoided it by going to 205, remember?
Right.
And fighting John Jones and all that. But there has been moments in the past where teammates that
won't fight.
Yeah, they decide not to fight. And there's been sometimes where it's like behind the scenes, not as famous fighters, right? But they just don't want to fight each other. And it's just, it doesn't work out well, especially in the UFC.
The best thing to do, especially now after the merge, is in the cage. After you've cornered somebody, they win, and then you just suplex them, and you're like, I'm gonna be that.
Yeah, there you go.
Turn it in, you turn heel.
Yeah. But to me, it's like
problem solved.
You need to have something planned out for yourself.
Yeah.
Like you can't just be going in there and saying like, oh, I just fight whatever. It's not like
What did you say?
I just said like I just fight whatever.
I was worried that
because that's how it sounds to fans. Like when you don't say anything of significance.
Yeah.
It just like it's like Charlie Brown or whatever that other cartoon is. But anyways, yeah, it's just O'Malley. I think for him, his star is still growing. I think he'll be a bigger star, to be honest with you. I think he's even getting better as a fighter too.
Yeah.
As long as he doesn't like get off course with all of the shenanigans, right? But he seems like he's not like in like the party scene. Like he's a stoner, but like
doesn't he have
what
a
are you
kid?
gonna do? Smoke too much weed and go
follow
to sleep?
one single person on Instagram.
Yeah, like he doesn't care.
He doesn't give a fuck.
You could have a burner account and follow everybody, right? But I think that's what you should do if you're famous like that. It's like have your account where you follow nobody, and then have a burner account where you follow everybody that you want to follow, and then nobody knows what the fuck's going on.
I do still think, even though he's not the biggest trash talker, I laughed really hard when he goes, "Did Cheeto fight?" And they're like, "Yeah," and he's like, "Was it boring?" And it is just a pause, and he's like, "Yeah, I thought so." It still made me laugh really hard, and it did like play up that this is the next thing, and it's a good storyline or whatever, that the one defeat that the champ has is going to be the next fight. So
yeah, and I definitely do want to see that fight for sure.
That's the thing, is I think
a lot
more people want to see that.
That's going to get some pay-per-views.
Yeah.
I think because people are going to want to watch Cheeto beat his ass.
Yeah.
It is a pay-per-view main event.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's going to have, I think that's going to have big numbers.
The thing is, like, for some reason, like skill for skill, I think Cheeto Vera is a better fighter, but I don't know now though.
Okay,
maybe O'Malley has reached another gear or another level now to where Cheeto has the same style, right? Like he goes in there and he's just march forward berserker style, right?
I feel like you can't do that on O'Malley though. He's like too sniper.
I think O'Malley knows that, and he studied him so well, and he has such a good coach too, Tim Welch, his coach. That's always with him, right? And I think that they're gonna figure something out like that O'Malley can do against Cheeto, and I think O'Malley's just gonna pull it off. Like everybody's just gonna doubt O'Malley continuously. I think that's what's gonna happen.
He's
And
gonna be
then-
one of those guys.
Yeah, he's gonna be one of those guys who
Yeah.
just gets doubted continuously. Like, oh, you beat him. That was a lucky punch against Aljo. Now let's gonna fight Cheeto, the guy that beat you. And then you go knock him out, and then it's
Yeah.
just like, oh, that was luck too. You know what I mean? Like, there's some guys that build hype through that, and that could be fun. Aljo's hype, man. He's a great fighter, but it's just like, I don't think he's gonna reach higher than he is now, like in popularity wise. To be honest, it's gonna be
No,
hard
I
to
don't
turn
think
that stuff
so.
around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
And
right when he was like turning it around, he did something, and then it's just like everybody flipped on him again.
well, and a lot of his fights were split decision, and they were
Yeah.
very close. They were close wins. They were hard fought wins, and that's why I think he turned it around in some people's eyes. But they were so close, and a lot of people thought that he lost the Piotr fight. They thought he lost the Cejudo fight and things like that. So it doesn't help you, right?
No.
But having a beautiful step back and cross and dropping the
Yeah.
champ and then finishing him there.
Yeah, he hit him a
That
lot
gives-
on the ground too. I
Yeah,
was
yeah,
watching
yeah.
the highlight again the other day. And I was like, damn, he punched him a lot.
Yeah,
on the
when you
ground.
rewatch it, you're like, oh no,
Yeah, that was good stoppage.
Yeah. Like,
He punched him like 15 times, I think, with the hammer fist on the ground. 20
Whew.
something like that. It was pretty insane.